Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Technical. Had a few technical issues this week, so I'm just going to kind of jump into some matches and give you an idea of this stuff, but I'm going to try and cover a bit of information about zoning. Now, you're going to notice a few problems here, but the idea behind the show was always that I'm personally trying to improve my play, and I was trying to maybe make something people could watch and kind of work with me as I go. And so, here's an example of some of the matches that I played really recently that kind of, I think, show off a few interesting concepts of the game. So, here I am fighting Yang. Let's get going. So you see how I keep trying to kind of step back and use the edge of my fist. And I caught him with a lot of those fiercing roundhouse or fiercing heavy kick low, kind of like punch out his feet. And with Balrog especially, he's very good at zoning. Like he plays a lot of the poke game, and so you want to use that to your advantage to kind of try and win the match. So you see, I use kind of like the long range jab. I use standing jab there to try and get a little extra range out of it, as it's longer than crouching, and I picked him off with it. This Yang's done a pretty good job of pressuring me, and Yangs are really tough because they can just do the dive kick pressure and then use a lot of really quick normals to give themselves, or to put up frame traps for you. So if you push any button, they're going to catch you with that frame trap. So their zoning is they want to play in close, whereas Balrog wants to get him a little further out. As you see, I panicked there, threw out an ultra, and it wasn't really a very good call, but it was kind of a last-ditch effort to hopefully catch him and win the round. So there, I kind of caught him with an uppercut, which I used. You stand at the right distance, which is approximately half screen, and you'll kind of learn this as you play, but you got to find a good spot to stand so that you can pick them off with your moves. It gives you a little bit of time to react, and it's really good. As I said earlier, Yang's right in my face here. He's trying to push me in, and he wants to kind of stay as close as he can get. So I've dropped a few little combos there, but I'm doing alright. I worked my way out of the corner. Yang is just, he wants to get in close for those crouching kicks, because there's really not a lot of answers to that. So I pushed him off me, and I'm kind of come back a little bit with this round, but it's really tough for me to keep Yang at a distance. Here I've gone, shit, I need to ultra, or I need to super, and that's that. Luckily he goes for a little palm strike, and I opened it up. That whole time I was in that corner, in my head it felt like a much longer period of time, and I realized, like, okay, I'm too low, I've got to combo into this super. And he kind of opened himself up for that dash punch super, so that's a lot of things too. Like, a lot of time in a match, you're kind of premeditating what you want to do next. I knew I wanted to uppercut him if he went for the dive kick, as he did that last round, and I figured I could kind of bait him into that again. So you start picking up patterns as well as working on spacing. But see how if I stay kind of still there, I can use my quick dash punches, and they're fairly safe. That's because I'm trying to use that spacing to my advantage. I don't want to be too close. Basically, I want to be just at a range of those little low kicks on Yang if I can manage it, because that gives me a big advantage and lets me kind of poke him while he doesn't have his quick pokes to use against me. So he's done a really good job. He's kind of pushed my ass all over the place, and as I said, this match kind of goes on for a long time. There's a lot of blocking, a lot of jumps, and you know, he's always trying to push his way in, and I'm trying to use those punches. The reason you'll see me burn EX punches sometimes because I don't want to get caught with a dive kick, but I want to readjust my spacing. As I kind of tone my game up and get to a higher level, I've noticed that spacing becomes a lot more important as the match goes on. Earlier matches, it was more about, can I land a combo or can I punish at a proper time, but more so now it's been spacing. So he tried to trick me up, I caught him with a full combo and pushed him for a kill. You don't really want to give that kind of an opening to your opponent, especially if they're not doing anything. It's kind of tough, but he took a gamble, and it was worth it, because if he had pulled that off, he could have gotten a win. So it was a risky move, and I caught him on that one with a couple light jabs, and a couple light jabs, as you get better, you'll learn how to turn those into a full combo pretty much every time. So our next match we've got here is a match versus Ken that I played. And the reason I threw this one in there is because, I'm going to give you a little spoiler, I get the shit kicked out of me. This guy is much better than I am at the game. He's obviously put a lot more time in, and he wins 100% because of his excellent spacing. He doesn't drop much, he does a really good job following through his combos, but Ken is a lot like Ryu, and fairly good at using pokes into spacing into combos. So he uses a Hadouken to kind of keep me at a good distance, and he just does a great job. The other thing he does too is he picks me up on a lot of wake-ups. You see how he kind of chose that neutral jump into the spin kick there to pick me up out of the air. That's something that I haven't run into a lot so far, so it's really nice. The other thing I've noticed too is I've been playing on the Xbox lately, which has been phenomenal for improving my skill, because there's a lot more players on there. And with a lot more players comes a lot more skilled players, so I'm getting a lot better matches. Again, I do what I did last game, which has become kind of a bad habit of mine from time to time, where I panic into the Ultra because I'm low and he's going to win. So the Ultra is nice because it doesn't burn your meter, and I try and build up what I can with, you know, a few blocks there. It gets me a bit extra, and or block into Hadouken gets me at least 2 bars, but he kind of takes that round. As I said before, or at the very beginning, just watch his spacing. It's really glorious with when he throws out these poke kicks. The way he jumps in is fantastic. He doesn't whiff very much at all, and if he does, he's normally pretty safe about it. He does those kind of short low kicks and the step forward kick into everything. I jump, he jumps, like his spacing is just outplaying me really, really badly, and it's one of those things I personally need to work on. So I know I'm trying to pick that up, and I figured it'd be really good to kind of point that out for you guys too. So I know a lot of players, if you're doing worse than I am, or even if you're at the same level I am, it's probably something you really need to work on. And you never really stop. You can just keep getting better at spacing. I've watched like kind of a lot of the really professional players play, and usually the thing they do, the greatest thing they do is their spacing. If you really want to see a fantastic example, check out Daigo playing Ryu. It's phenomenal how well he can space some people out. So as I said, that Ken he had my number. Every time that I'd push a button, he'd already have that step kick in my face kind of as a meaty to push me back. So we got one more match where I feel like I did a pretty decent job on spacing, and I did a good job of using a lot of kind of meaties or some quick attacks to keep the pressure on, and I kind of push this Bison and try and control the match and kind of set the tempo. So this one goes a little bit beyond spacing, as it's a lot of when to attack and when to block, but with Bison, you'll see you gotta kind of find a way to shut down his scissor kicks, and if you can do that, it gets really, really hard to play Bison. So you see a lot of the time, I kind of use those low pokes as like my max range poke. If you're at a very high range, it's a lot safer to use them. If you're really close, it can be rough because they can punish you even on block for a lot of moves. And once again, he goes for the slide, I catch him with a long range poke. I just keep trying to use that max range because almost everything in the game is kind of built to be used at max range. You want to kind of land with the tip and not use anything else. So remember guys, just the tip. Again, as you can see, I'm kind of pushing the Bison around and just controlling him. I use the air game to kind of stop a lot of his specials, and I don't know, this guy, he's fairly high rated, but I kind of felt like he was bad, and I'm sure that's not the case. He probably plays a lot better. But you can see a lot of counter hits popping up, because I'm just using these to overlay him with max range of my jabs, and he keeps thinking he's safe, and that's just not happening. So I managed to push for a Dizzy, which is fantastic, because I already had a super built up, so I could cancel into that and just keep going for it. This guy keeps using one teleport after another. I'm thinking he's going for the Ultra, because it's not working, and he obviously was hoping for it. And he teleported so many times, and I just kept trying to use some sort of either option select or prep so that I could dash into it or turn punch it or, you know, catch him with a low meaty, and it just kind of manhandled this guy. So remember guys, try and use the tip of your attacks for spacing, and keep leveling up your game. Hopefully next week I have fewer technical difficulties so we can get another episode out a little bit quicker and a little bit more fulfilling. So I apologize for that one. This one's a little bit late guys, but thanks for watching, and keep playing, keep practicing, and I'll see you guys next week.